Championship 2025. Can Team Malaysia go to the grand final, or will it be trampled by Team Indonesia?
Our defending champions one step away from making it back to the final stage of the WEC. And it is only their longtime rivals who will be able to stand in their way. Who will come out on top this time? Will Indonesia be able to bring out a second stage now that they're pushed into a corner?
Oh, I feel like, again, we talked about how the draft-wise, right? Now we are seeing that Team Malaysia is just going to continue to keep up the pace, making sure that they'll be able to actually pressure out Team Indonesia. Going to actually pick up. Yums comes in, goes in for the dash, but it's not going to be enough though. Still, Stormy just tried to actually pick up one after another just to give a lot of pressure from that mid lane.
Now, one advantage that Team Indonesia has this time around is that they do actually have mid lane prio. Gatot and Parsa together pair up very well. Kabuki not having a good time in lane, as is expected of anyone dealing with an X-Borg. But Team Indonesia can take advantage of their mid lane rotational pressure. It means that Yums isn't able to aggressively invade. It looks like Skies will still try to be a little bit annoying.
Yes, Sakai is definitely going to actually just invade a little by little, getting all the gold crabs as well. Now pushing in, Winnie managed to screw away just safely there, but still, Team Malaysia looking better than ever, making sure that they will be able to put a lot of the constant pressure. Again, just try to actually make sure that Kabuki just don't go over the line.
Skies is here to clear the wave as much as possible to make sure that Lolil can actually join the turtle fight. So Team Malaysia will just have the direct numbers advantage. Even if Momo hasn't been having a very good time against Iran, they have an X-Borg. Indonesia cannot contest here.
Ooh, barely surviving that, but Momo? Momo? No, definitely not. But it is going to be a free turtle in the hands of Team Malaysia, right? In instant, giving a lot of the grounds to be covered things out, especially with the gap as well. But here on out, burning Weedy just a little bit, also picking up as well. Federer Center is already open. Joe managed to actually move away with a shadow, but at the same time, a lot of pressure has already been done by Team Malaysia.
I think the timing from Joe could have been a little bit better there. If he waited for the Feathered Airstrike to break the Faraga armor, he could have actually entered afterwards with the Quad Shadow and attempt to take out Lolil. But it's still pretty even currently. Team Indonesia has been playing defensively, trying to make sure that they don't fall for the same tricks that happened to them in game number 1. Gold lead is minuscule, though slightly in favor of Team Malaysia.
For Team Malaysia, goes in for the dive again, but goes back, just making sure a lot of the continuity of pressure going off for Team Indonesia. Malaysia, they know for a fact that early game, they can definitely push the Indonesia from the back and making sure that they just don't overextend.
Yeah, Team Malaysia knows there is actually a timer on their heads this time around. Yums has not been able to get a lot of value out of this Hilda so far, and Team Indonesia wants to keep it that way as much as possible. They have multiple sources of mid to late game scaling, where once again, if they don't fall too far behind in the mid stages, we'll just be able to carry them through to the end game. But Malaysia...
The keys goes in for the puncher, but missed out a little bit, so Kabuki will still be able to survive things out.
So far, we're seeing actually very good movements from Team Indonesia. They have adjusted, even if we're looking at some of the similar heroes from last time around. Not attempting to make overly aggressive plays onto the opposite side, even though they have a Farsa. They're playing defense. They're keeping themselves safe to play for the late game. They know that Malaysia is the one that needs to be creating pressure.
Here's the thing about Dangerous Grass. This is why it is called dangerous. You don't know where they are coming off for the fight. But coming in right now, they picked up Aran. Goes in for the puncher, missed it out, but goes in. Oh, will they for the fight? Goes out, going to stun it off immediately, but can they actually go there? No! Goes, immediately shuts down Aran, and now living off this second turtle in the hands of Team Malaysia.
A good attempt by Iran. Survived for a very long time, but not long enough. This is going to be a free turtle for Team Malaysia. And I want to bring attention from everyone to Yums' positioning in that fight as well. Specifically, cutting off the backup from the rest of Team Indonesia and then pincering around to ensure that the kill goes through. Things like this are what makes the difference in those situations.
I like the fact that no matter how much they try to actually tone it down, now going in for the bottom, goes in for the puncher. Momo gets the kill instead, making sure that every pressure is done by Team Malaysia.
There's just something about the way Team Malaysia plays. They know how to get under your skin. As an EXP laner, you know, they just committed so many resources to kill you the first time. Surely, they won't be around a second time. But no, they're hiding for the ambush, especially when Aran doesn't have his stacks built up yet.
Goes in for the quad Shadow. Feather Aside is already open, but I think Yums will be able to survive it out. Shadow Kills comes in, one last hit. Dojo takes down Yums immediately, but there's going to be just a little bit of trade for Team Indonesia. But Stormy on the end of the say, did you just take Yums? You are in the no man's land, my friend. The kiss comes in, he goes in on, but the airborne comes through, and Stormy says, Joe, you are down!
There is no escaping from the eyes of Mage Prodigy himself. Joe finally able to get a kill on the side of Team Indonesia, but the trade of the jungler for the roamer is simply not worth it currently. Even though they've been trying to play defensive, Malaysia has already built up a 2K lead once again at the 6-minute mark. Next turtle up in 35 seconds. Indonesia's gonna need to slow this down even more, but it's difficult to do so now that Aran has been focused as hard as he was.
Now, trying to actually go in for a fight. Kabuki backs off, doesn't have much of the setup that is required for Team Indonesia. So they're playing it slowly so far, but again, it's a kiss. I told you guys, you gotta call the police. This is a stealer right here. He is a thief. He keeps on invading every single corner of Team Indonesia.
And he's gonna keep doing it too unless they can do something to stop him, which so far they have not been successful with. Map control, even though it was being held on preciously by Team Indonesia before, is now slowly being reclaimed by the Malaysian side. Next hurdle gonna be hard to contest. Joe is not even around. He's just gonna try and get farm on the opposite side of the map instead, giving up the objective once again.
The fact that right now, trying to do best to make sure that at least there is going to be a split push. Is it going to be enough? Though so much pressure has already been done, even on the side of the turret itself, we do see that the first layers has already been scrapped out by Team Malaysia. And again, they want to take things a little bit slow, but Malaysia doesn't want to.
Now, why would they? They know that they're strong right now. They know that Team Indonesia will actually become a little scary the later the game goes, so they're gonna keep pushing it no matter the circumstances.
No! Why did you do that? Now Momo will be able to back things up. Takes down Witty immediately years ago. Yums just down Kabuki with the power to build it, but it's going to be a kill to actually take out Yums, but that's going to be enough though. 2 kills in the blood of Team Malaysia.
Yums sacrifices himself there, but it's perfectly worth it to get a kill on the enemy marksman. And once again, Team Malaysia perfectly positioning the punish overextensions on the opposite side. Indonesia cannot feel safe even in their half of the map right now. And their tower is slowly being taken more and more. Joe, at the very least, is able to secure his orange buff from Skies this time. But while he's doing that, his purple is being stolen by Stormy.
For one trade, and for another to be lost as well. So that's a sacrifice that is needed by Team Indonesia. But what can you do when every single corner is already been guarded out by Team Malaysia? Again, this is such a clean fight for the 8-minute, 24 seconds. Team Malaysia have proven themselves so powerful to a point that Team Indonesia haven't found the answer for them to back things up.
The gold lead still looking pretty big right now for Team Malaysia. Team Indonesia, they have the late game scaling, yes, but they do still need some control on the map in order to achieve it. And they're not even letting Witty go home!
Witty! Oh, Witty was just shut down immediately. Again, this overextension that was done by Team Indonesia just falters. It gives so much of the body to the hands of Team Malaysia.
The AOG was cancelled 2 times in a row there. That feels bad. Gatot Kaca is popular right now because he has ways of getting in and out of fights for free. But when you have a Zeus in focusing you down and all the crowd control that Malaysia is throwing at you, even the tankiest member of Team Indonesia is not able to survive. Without their Gatot, Team Indonesia cannot come anywhere close to contesting this first Lord of the game. And yet another objective goes in the hands for Malaysia without any form of contention.
And the fact that Yums was just looking around, making sure that the players of Indonesia just overlooking him, and he's just like, hey, hi guys, what you doing? And now coming off for the Lord that's marching in, it's going to be a little bit of steal of the buff as well. They will be able to secure it out, but somehow Team Malaysia, they know they can be able to actually steal away or even break down that last turret coming in before goes into the inhibitor, but goes out right here. Now, Joe, just a little bit of danger. Punches come through. That's the case. Takes down Joe immediately.
That is just not worth it. You shouldn't be sacrificing your life to protect your tier 2 like that. There is a Lord pushing down bottom. We're 10 minutes in, and Team Malaysia might already be looking at a potential endgame angle. That's just how far apart the goal difference is looking at right now. Towers being taken down left and right. Holy defenses are intact. So Indonesia should be able to survive this push at the very least. But the damage done is going to delay their potential scaling for so long.
Only defense already been broken. Lord can be able to clear things out for a while, but still, it's not going to be good. Shadow's already out. They're looking for a way whether they want to actually go into the fight, but somehow they are hesitant. They're making sure there is going to be a discipline so that they can set things up for the defense first. Clear out all the minions with so that they can actually do a little bit of trade. But here again, this is just timing for Team Indonesia, and they're leaving all those space for Malaysia to just get a lot of their own buffs, getting all their stacks as well. So it's a little bit of risky coming up for Team Indonesia.
Considering the goal difference we're looking at right now, Indonesia being able to keep all of their inhibitors alive is actually a pretty good scenario. And even that is after losing all of their external towers. Team Malaysia continuing with the snowball, continuing to threaten every part of the map. Team Indonesia has to stay together to avoid being picked off. And even when they're together, they can't really find anything on the map.
The fact that right now goes in for the burning ground. Can they actually go through? Federation has already opened, but it's going to be Joe who will be able to take down by Stormy. Comes along right now. They had to forfeit. They had to actually disperse because Team Malaysia, they also don't want to overextend, but it seems like Yums just overlooking, trying to find a way. Can they actually do a little bit of setup right here? Team Indonesia fall with 4 players only to survive it out.
Step by step, the defending champions are getting closer and closer to the returning to the battle for the throne that they were at a single year ago. Indonesia, their chances are not nil, not 0, but they are very, very small. They need a miracle to happen, a massive mistake being made by their opponents in order to get the scaling necessary. They need to find shutdowns. But it's not like Team Malaysia actually has that many kills either. They've been pressuring Shirley through macro. And because of that, the gold bounties, even if they were to get picked off, are not as high as you would think and not sufficient. Team Indonesia needs multiple teamfight victories in order to get the scaling necessary to compete.
Who they want to catch? How they want to catch? That's the question for Team Indonesia. This is going to be a free lot again for the team of Malaysia itself because they're definitely going to actually not contest it off. They're going to make sure to clear it out. But at the same time, right here, AOG had to be pulled out by Weedy just to survive it out. Even Aaron seems a little bit lost there, doesn't know how to actually do a little bit of surprise element. And Team Malaysia, again, this is where they're just punishing as well as pressuring Indonesia to just set things up for defense.
This is just perfect textbook play coming in here from the host country representatives. They are ticking every single box, fulfilling every single objective and condition to completely deny their opponent space on the map. And we can see that snowball coming up as a result. The Lord now going to be pushing in bot side. There are only inhibitors left standing, no holy defenses. It's a 10k gold difference, which means that the damage from Team Indonesia is still not sufficient. Haas Claws only just completed on Kabuki to try and keep himself in the fight a little bit longer. But Team Malaysia just has so many more resources, and the damage scaling is on another level altogether. Whatever happens here, Team Indonesia needs to find some kind of perfect engagement. And even that might not be enough.
Goes in for the bottom turret, right? This is going to be burst down by the Lord itself. It's going to be opening the door. Goes in for the puncher. Witty, half line, surviving that out. But again, they are being a little bit disciplined. But Joe suddenly out of nowhere at the mid was trying to do a little bit of backstabbing. Nah, Yums denies it. You are not going to allow to do that, my friend.
I mean, as long as he can get out, it's still actually a perfectly viable play here. In fact, it's going to be able to save Indonesia a second tower. If not, I think Team Malaysia could have taken that mid inhibitor as well. So that is actually the correct play being done by Joe on the Hayabusa currently. They're going to try and delay for as much as possible, but here comes more minion waves.
Spider Strike has already been opened just to make sure to clear the minions of wave. Coming in right now, Loleo trying to actually burst down with the ignition, but still not going to be enough though. Now River Spider comes through, but they are going to jump right into the midst right here with Shadow Kill, but doesn't make it actually a good damage. No, it's not going to be enough though. Still have a survivor from the side of Team Malaysia, so they can back off easily, fastly. But I like the way how the stages say, "Good job, you! Good job, you!" Because they were literally rushing on, saying like, "Yums, go get him, man!"
Of course they would, right? They're in a very comfortable place. They're feeling themselves. Everything's going their way. But I will give praise to Team Indonesia right now. Those were very solid defenses that we saw considering the goal lead, keeping themselves as safe as possible, using their health as resources, and dropping in whenever they think they can do enough poke to maybe zone Team Malaysia back. Because of that, they have been able to keep 2 inhibitors intact for now. Next Lord is going to be coming up in 20 seconds. And Team Indonesia might be able to hold on to it if they're able to keep themselves in place. But the ideal would be to try and maybe contest it away from Team Malaysia. They still have to be very careful because the bot lane is wide open and Skies is already setting up the slow push into it. Because of that, they can take the Lord Dance quite easily and consistently threaten a backdoor victory.
Let's see. Is it going to be a backdoor success? Goes in for the VS strike, but at the same time, they goes in for the last insanity. Somehow doesn't manage to go in, but Yum's able to take down Kabuki. Goes in for the AOG. Wait, just managed to actually disperse Team Malaysia. But is it going to be enough though? So far, they are managed to actually trade off 1 player.
A beautiful ambush again from Team Malaysia. They have their front line threaten the jungle, then they come from behind.
Comes in, yes, a go! Touchdown by Sakis immediately. 3 more players to go. Goes in for the puncher again. Joe, Haveline still surviving it out, but unfortunately had to back things up for the fountain. Now they're going to actually push in for the turret. Immediately trying to actually make sure that another turret will be opening up. Goes in for the quad shadow. Doesn't manage to actually go in for the shadow kill. Joe just also lost in the midst right now. Doesn't know what to do. Goes in for the last insanity. Lolion takes down Witty. Leaving Aran as well as Joe. 2 more players to go. They are going to lock into Aran. Now Aran will never be able to grab the wave from the hands of Stormy. Crystal is on